We're off to a great start. When I opened up this morning, or this afternoon, I talked about the three spheres of influence, that God created: the family, the church, and government. And at the family leader, Bob Vanderplatz has kind of taken us to a new level, especially when it comes to that mountain of influencing government. It started, as you'll recall, after when he joined the family leader, he then led the charge, along with you and a lot of these partner groups that we partner with here in Iowa, to do an historic thing to remove 3 Supreme Court justices from the state of Iowa. From there, we rolled into the presidential election time, and he started off with a lecture series for the different candidates to come and share with you their vision. He also, the family leader, had that Thanksgiving forum last year when all the candidates came and spoke. And then we, the board, and Bob and Chuck, sat down through several meetings and came up with who we felt like we should endorse individually for a candidate for president. And that guy, who was polling near the bottom of the pack, all of a sudden, once that snowball started, he just took off and ended up winning the Iowa caucus. We're going to hear from him a little bit later, along with another guy who won the Iowa caucus a few years ago. So it's going to be a great afternoon. And under Bob's leadership, I saw a lot of things happen. All of a sudden, the arrows started flying. Whether it was hate mail or the different. Even I saw even a T-shirt that is for sale that blasphemes Bob. But through it all and through all those different things. In fact, I remember there was an accusation in that endorsement process that somehow money was influencing Bob in our endorsement. That the campaigns were supposed to be giving him money. Well, we picked the wrong guy. I think if we did that, Bob, because we picked a guy who hadn't raised a lot of money at that point. But the truth is that what I saw through the whole process was him leading us through a process where it was integrity, it was standing for ideals, standing for what the family leader and what we believe God wants for the family, not for any political gain. I saw a guy who was humble, who kept his head low, kept us in prayer as we walked through this process. And so after 2 years of kind of behind the scenes watching this guy work, I'm very proud to be associated with Bob Vanderplatz. And I'd ask you now if you'll welcome him to the platform.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I tell you, thank you, Robert. I don't know if that comes along with a pay raise or not, but those are some nice remarks. Robert being our board chair. I'm very humbled by the attendance today. Matter of fact, yesterday when Darla and I had just wrapped up dinner, I got called by one of our assistants, Kristen, and she says, I think we need to shut down the registration. And I said, why is that? She goes, because we've already oversold. And being Dutch, I thought, that's a good thing. Keep selling, But we had reached capacity, and it got me to thinking, and Darla and I were reflecting last night. 2 months ago, on June 6th, we were in the conference room at the Family Leader with the team, and we had a press release all ready to go to talk about the Family Leadership Summit. And we were starting maybe to get a little bit weak-kneed. Like, can we really pull this off? I mean, a weekend in August, beautiful weather, the state fair going on. Are you sure people would want to attend? Would we even get presenters to come and present? And we walked through a thing on the whiteboard at the Family Leader, and we talked about remember. Remember 3 judges. Remember a 99-county tour. Remember a presidential lecture series. Remember a presidential forum. Remember the endorsement of the eventual caucus winner. Remember a very successful legislative season where we had human trafficking, a very good bill passed for the first time, and we're getting legislators standing up for the sanctity of human life. Remember. And then the question became, do we send or don't we send? Do we push the send button or don't we send? And we said, push the send button. We're going to do this. And thanks to you and thanks to all the presenters here, the Family Leadership Summit is sold out. Thank you for doing that. And as you have heard mentioned here already today, I just about said this morning, I had to keep looking at my watch when Governor Perry was talking, like, I don't think it's morning anymore. But what I said there is that I have one non-negotiable. We will do a full-day summit, but we will move heaven and earth, but we are not going past 6:55 tonight. Everybody will be on their way at 6:55. Guys, plans have changed. Plans have changed, and I hope you'll do me a favor and you'll honor about going past 6:55. My good friend, and someone who owes me dearly, my good friend, Mike Huckabee, he called me up this morning, and he said, Bob, did you hear the announcement? I said, what announcement? He said, about the VP pick. And I said, yeah, I'm really disappointed that it wasn't you. And we started talking about the Ryan pick and all that stuff. He goes, hey, I got an idea I want to run past you. I said, what's that? He goes, I want to do my show, Huckabee, live from Des Moines, the Family Leadership Summit, tonight. And I said, Governor, well, I got a commitment. We're not going past 7 o'clock. He said, Bob, that's when we start, 7 o'clock. So I'm going to give you a couple of housekeeping deals before I wrap up my remarks. We're going to take a break here. It'll be a little while yet, but then we're going to take a break, and that'll be a good half-hour break. Get whatever you need. And then we'll have the second session where we have this guy named Joel Rosenberg. I think some of you heard him. He'll do really good. And then the second break's going to be a little bit longer, and when that break is happening, Fox News is going to set everything up here for Huckabee's program. And then, yeah, okay, nobody faint, okay? Everything's okay. By the way, that's an additional $20.12 to attend the show. But they will be here, and we will do the third session as promised. Governor Huckabee will speak. He's going to be committed to speak here, and then we'll take another short break. And if you have to leave, we know some people have commitments. If you have to leave, we'd ask that you do it at that point. And then everybody else who wants to stay, it'll be a half-hour program from 7 to 7:30 with Huckabee. But I hope it's okay, but I said, okay, you guys can come. So they're coming. The mission and vision of the Family Leadership Summit was, this is our first annual. We hope we have many more to come. But the reason we're having the Family Leadership Summit is because we're so focused on the White House election, we're so focused on congressional elections or state Senate elections, and that leadership is extremely important. But I believe leadership does not begin, nor does it end with elected office. We need leaders today. Now, I brought myself back to April 3, 2009. I was at the Supreme Court building that day. And I saw when the decision got made that Iowa would now be a same-sex marriage state. I saw the people coming out and cheering out of that courtroom. And I remember feeling a feeling I really hadn't felt before, and it wasn't of anger, but was just void. I didn't know how to feel. That was a Friday. That Saturday, my dad, who served in World War II, he gave me a call right away in the morning and said, Bob, how did this happen? I said, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. I went to church that Sunday, and not a knock against our church, but my guess it represented a lot of churches across the state of Iowa. Our church did not address that issue. And I went home that Sunday, and now I was disappointed. And I thought I need to write an opinion editorial. And I started writing an opinion editorial that was entitled, When Leaders Don't Lead. And it was a great opinion editorial. And it was really good because I never sent it. But I was writing the opinion editorial, and I said, now that this decision has come down, there's going to be a lot of fingers of blame going around. We're going to point at Governor Culver. We're going to point at Senator Grantstall. We're going to point at a legislature. We're going to point at Supreme Courts. But the fact of the matter is, the finger also needs to be pointed back at us. Ladies and gentlemen, in your community, we need leaders to lead today. In our churches, we need leaders to lead today. We tell the pastors, we don't need you to be political, but doggone it, we need you to be biblical. And in our homes, we need leaders to lead. Bob and Darla, we need to lead on the issue of marriage. Our church needs to lead on the issues of the day. We need leaders to lead, and my hope and my goal with this summit, when you hear Pastor White, when you hear Joel Rosenberg, when you get inspired by Governor Perry, when you listen to Santorum and Huckabee and our partners Brian Brown and David Bozzi, National Organization for Marriage and Citizens United, and when you read our national partner, Citizen Link, out of Colorado Springs, that you would embrace the high calling of leadership. And ladies and gentlemen, when you embrace the high calling of leadership, not only will the White House look different, Pennsylvania Avenue, not only will K Street look different, but Main Street will look different. Your street will look different. So I hope and pray God blesses this event beyond measure and that you leave today inspired and committed anew to lead. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here.